Early morning. The sun hasn't yet risen, but the lights in every home are already glowing. The soft shuffle of slippers across the porch, the gentle bubbling of a kettle on the stove, the crackling sound of an old radio broadcasting the morning news, and somewhere the smell of hot porridge, fried rice, and pickled vegetables drifts through cracks in the doors. Elderly people wake up early, not because they want to, but because their bodies have become accustomed to it over the years. Every morning marks the start of a new day. But unlike younger people who wake up rushing into coffee, meetings, and deadlines, the elderly begin their day with a meal. A meal that may seem simple, yet holds the power to shape their health for the entire day or even for years to come. And yet some mornings end in fatigue, dizziness, bloating, rapid heartbeat, or an unexplained sense of sadness. There are stomach pains with no clear cause. Elderly people don't usually think too much about what they eat. They follow habits. But those very habits, built over the years, quietly decide whether one lives healthily or lives in discomfort. Some dishes are delicious, but not at the right time. Some are familiar but no longer suitable, especially in the morning when the body has just awakened from a long night of rest. Every internal organ needs to be gently and carefully reactivated. But if we ambush the body with unsuitable foods, instead of waking it up gently, everything can fall out of sync. Years of observing older adults, from those who live long and healthy lives to those constantly dealing with minor ailments, revealed one clear pattern: how they begin the morning with food sets the tone for their entire day's health. It's not just about eating more or less. It's about what we eat, when we eat it, and how the body responds. Here are 5 popular breakfast foods. Behind them are 5 silent saboteurs that affect the health of the elderly. 1. Fried foods. Heavy fats for a body that needs gentle starting. There's a reason why many experts call breakfast the overture to daily health. After 7 to 8 hours of rest, the body's organs, including the stomach, liver, and gallbladder, slow down. This is a time when they need a gentle, gradual reactivation. Yet fried foods force this delicate system to work overtime. Saturated fats in fried foods increase the burden on the liver, which with age already operates less efficiently. They also stimulate the gallbladder to contract more intensely, prompting excessive digestive fluid secretion, while the aging body's ability to absorb and process fats has declined. As a result, fried breakfasts often bring bloating, indigestion, acid reflux, or nausea. Beyond these immediate symptoms, fried foods raise the risk of lipid disorders and increase bad cholesterol, LDL, accelerating plaque buildup in arteries, a leading cause of stroke and heart attack among older adults. Young people might eat fried chicken in the morning, then jog, drink coffee, and work all day. But older adults need a breakfast that gently awakens the body's rhythm, not one that startles the organs into chaos. 2. Refined sugars, sweet but far from safe. For many, sweetness is associated with comfort, safety, and even joy. A cup of hot sugar tea, a glass of sweetened milk, a few cookies, or jam-slathered toast, these are common morning favorites. But in older age, sweetness is no longer the friendly companion it once was. Refined sugars, especially white sugar, are quickly absorbed into the bloodstream, causing a rapid spike in blood sugar. The pancreas must then work hard to produce insulin to lower it. For elderly individuals with weakened pancreas function and reduced insulin sensitivity, this roller coaster effect can be shocking. What follows is fatigue, weakness, dizziness, or an inexplicable dip in mood, symptoms of blood sugar crashing after the initial spike. This instability prevents the body from establishing the steady foundation needed to start the day. Moreover, diets high in sugar increase the risk of chronic conditions like type 2 diabetes, fatty liver, obesity, and cardiovascular disease. Sugar also weakens the immune system, impairs cognitive function, and speeds up cellular aging. Older adults require fewer calories but higher nutritional quality. Refined sugar offers empty calories, no vitamins, no minerals, only brief energy, and a false sense of satisfaction. When mornings begin with too much sweetness, it's not just an unbalanced meal, it's a disruption of the body's natural rhythm. 3. Pickled and fermented foods. Tasty but not tender. Pickled mustard greens, salted eggplants, kimchi, and pickled shallots. These are familiar companions on many elderly breakfast tables. They stimulate the appetite, complement simple dishes, and round out meals with their sharp flavors. But these fermented salty foods come with hidden costs. First is the high salt content, a major contributor to elevated blood pressure. Aging bodies already suffer from reduced vascular elasticity and weaker heart contractions, making them more sensitive to salt's effects. Every pinch of added salt places extra strain on the cardiovascular and renal systems. Second, natural fermentation, if poorly controlled, can produce nitrites, histamines, and harmful bacteria. These compounds can disrupt digestion, trigger allergic reactions, cause bloating, heartburn, or stomach pain, especially when consumed on an empty stomach. Additionally, frequent consumption of salty foods dulls taste buds, making natural flavors less appealing. This builds a dependency on strong, salty flavors and distances one from lighter, more wholesome eating habits. A proper breakfast should soothe the body and gently activate its systems. Pickled foods do the opposite: sharp, intense, jarring. They awaken the stomach with overstimulation, and after the brief sense of alertness comes lingering fatigue. Fourth, processed foods. Convenient but costly. Cold cuts, Vietnamese pork rolls, sausages, instant noodles. They're convenient, easy to prepare, and require little cooking. That's why many older adults, especially those living alone, turn to them for breakfast. But convenience often comes with hidden health risks. For older individuals with diminished detoxification ability, regularly consuming processed foods increases metabolic strain, promotes chronic inflammation, elevates cholesterol, and damages cells. Some studies even link high consumption of industrialized foods with higher risks of Alzheimer's, depression, and cancer. Fifth, red meat and organ meats. Nutritious but hard to digest. Beef, goat, buffalo, liver, heart, intestines. These are protein and iron-rich foods packed with B vitamins. For younger bodies, they are nutritional powerhouses. But for the elderly, especially at breakfast, they're far from ideal. Red meat and organs require a high level of stomach acid to digest. This process takes time and energy, leaving the body feeling sluggish. If eaten on an empty stomach, these foods often lead to bloating, heartburn, nausea, and even constipation or diarrhea. Moreover, organ meats contain high levels of cholesterol and purines, two factors that raise the risk of gout, fatty liver, hypertension, and metabolic disorders. These issues may not appear immediately, but accumulate silently over time with unhealthy eating habits. Mornings call for light, gentle, easy-to-digest foods. Red meat and organs are heavy both digestively and metabolically. What seems nutritious may not always be suitable, especially when the body has passed its prime and needs purification more than excess. 5 familiar foods, 5 flavors from memory. But as age advances, the body must be listened to anew. Not to completely eliminate, but to rethink timing, method, and frequency. Because health doesn't begin with a medicine, it begins with the first meal of the day.